Are you in need of immediate running back help right now? If so, stay tuned. We're going to go over 5 running backs that are undervalued that you should be buying right now. All right, Dynamo Nation, welcome in. Hope everybody's having a good week. It's the start of week 9. Thursday Night Football is tonight. I'm going to talk about 5 RBs that are undervalued right now. You should go buy them right now. They're all in that RB2 range. I think RB2 range going forward. And they're all undervalued for various different reasons. You know, our first running back on this list is going to be Chase Edmonds. And I know all the cons against Chase Edmonds. And the biggest con being James Conner. He's a TD vulture. He's scoring TDs at an unreasonable rate. It has to slow down at some point. The Cardinals have just been beating up on everybody. And that's impacted Chase's value. They're playing from ahead so often that they're not utilizing him in the passing game as much as we thought that he would be up to this point. And with all of that being said, he's still an RB2 and a solid RB2 in PPR scoring. And that's with all the negatives. So what happens when they start to have to play from behind? When these game scripts start to happen? And what happens when there's more TD positive regression for him? He just scored his first touchdown. So it's going to come. Like Chase Edmonds has a very safe floor as an RB2. Like extremely safe. You can try him out there. He scored double digits in every game except for the 2 games that he was down with that shoulder when he was in there playing hurt. And what happens, though, like when Cardinals aren't beating up on everyone and they're playing closer games? Edmonds is going to continue. He's going to get even more of a snap share than what he has now. So if his floor is an RB2, he's going to have these pop-off weeks where he's catching 6, 7, 8 passes and putting up RB1 numbers. Like right now is the perfect time to go get him. Just based on everything that we've seen so far. His value is down based on Conner. And you can't dispute Conner's usage and what he's been doing in the touchdown short yardage game. But I think that trend's going to flip a little bit here. As the season goes on, they'll be playing tougher matchups. I would go get Edmonds and buy him as an RB2. And he can be afforded right now based on everything going on with Conner. He's a perfect buy low candidate. Our second RB is going to be Antonio Gibson. And I know everything you're going to say about Gibson. I get it. But he's been playing hurt. The dude's playing with a fractured shin. Before the season started, Gibson was an undisputed RB1 across multiple formats. He's an electric playmaker when the ball's in his hands. So I get that Patterson got sprinkled in last week. McKissick's not going away. I get all of that. But Gibson has been playing hurt. He was taken off the injury report last week, right, for the first time. And they're on a bye week 9. And I think that Patterson got sprinkled in because I really do believe they're trying to get Gibson to that bye week to get him healthy. And, like, you would hate to – this is just me thinking. This is coach speak. You would hate to have him be managed the whole way with that fractured shin. And then the week before your bye, you trot him out there and he re-aggravates it. And you got to start the process all over or whatever it might be because he did have a shin bruise. So I think they sprinkled Patterson in to save Gibson last week, knowing that they had a bye in week 9. I would expect Gibson to be heavily involved week 10 and on. And Washington likes to run the ball. So it's a perfect time for him. You have all the uncertainty around Patterson and Gibson and McKissick. Like, it's a 3-headed monster right now, but I don't think it's going to be that way. I don't think McKissick's going away, but I don't think Patterson's going to be as involved as people are saying right now. Go get Gibson while you can. He's definitely undervalued versus where he was at the beginning of the season. He was especially in Dynasty, he was a slam dunk RB1 in Dynasty. And right now he's fallen into the back end RB2, front end RB3 conversation for a lot of people. I'm not one of them. I believe in his talent. He was a converted receiver. Hopefully they start getting him involved in the passing game more. That's where he excels. But he's been pretty damn good in the box and running the ball, especially last year. So Gibson's my second running back on this list. I would definitely get him while I can. My third running back is going to be David Montgomery. He's coming back from injury soon. Chicago runs the ball the fourth most in the league. You know, before he went down, Montgomery was a top 5 or 6 scoring running back in those first 4 weeks. And that's coming off of being an RB1 last year. Like, I believe right now, like, Khalil Herbert's looked good. People are liking him, but Montgomery has too much talent for them to sit. Like, when he comes back healthy, which should be a week or two, he's going to step right back into his spot. And I think Herbert's going to be involved. That's why I'm not putting Montgomery in the RB1 range. If you're going to have to pay RB1 prices for him, then pass. But right now he's been hurt. Herbert's looked really good, so there's a lot of doubt about where he's going to be and his value. If you can get him in that RB2 price range, then go for it. Because I think that's going to be his safe floor. I think he's going to be a safe RB2 week after week. And that's what you want right now. Like, yeah, you might want to take these slam dunk risk and these boom or bust type moves, but if you can get solid RB2 play from your running backs week in and week out, and you kind of know what you're going to get, it allows you to balance out the rest of your lineup. Because you might be able to take a risk on a boom or bust type of receiver in the flex spot if you know you're going to get safe points from your running backs. That leads to our fourth running back. That's A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon is starting to eat into that snap share in Green Bay. Beginning of the season, it was a 70-30 split in favor of Aaron Jones. Week 8, we're looking at a 60-40 split. On top of that, you're looking at A.J. Dillon has double-digit touches in the last 4 out of the last 5 weeks. He's averaging like 12 touches a game and 65 yards over the last 5 weeks. And he's slowly starting to, like, he's eating into that snap share, and he's averaging almost 5 yards a carry while he's doing it. So it could be something that, especially this week with Rodgers being out, you might see even more out of A.J. Dillon just based on the situation. Like, they're going to have to run the ball more this week. So he's somebody I'm definitely looking into. Not just for this year, but he's definitely a dynasty buy. A.J. Dillon is. I'd be grabbing him up wherever I can right now. He's got draft capital. I mean, there's a lot to like about him. He's a big back. They got him involved a few weeks back against Cincinnati in the receiving game. You know, he caught 4 passes for 50 yards and a touchdown. Like, he's shown some stuff to where he can be a viable starter. And that's the thing right now, too. Get him right now. He might be more of a flex play than an RB2 play, but as many injuries as we've seen so far this year, if Aaron Jones were to go down, you're looking at A.J. Dillon being a top 5 or 6 running back every single week. And that's like the icing on the cake. But right now, he does have standalone flex value. So I'd be grabbing A.J. Dillon where I could. Definitely think there's upside there. And our last running back is coming back from injury as well. He should be back soon. That's Josh Jacobs. With everything going on with the Raiders right now, losing Ruggs, I think they're going to have to lean more on that running game. And for me, Jacobs, he's not pretty. His value is down across all types of formats. But he just continuously puts up points. You can say whatever you want about him that might be ugly points. He puts up points. The Raiders lean on him when he's healthy. The 4 games he's played this year, he had 60 carries. So, like, for me with Jacobs, like, he scored in double digits every single game this year. Like, you can't pass that type of production up. And if you can get him right now, especially being hurt, with all the uncertainty going on around them, you need to go grab him. Like, he's good. Out of this whole list, I bet you he might be the cheapest right now across formats. Edmonds has been too consistent for someone to just give him away. But you're only going to be paying RB2 prices with RB1 upside going forward. Gibson still has that name cachet, especially with where he was taken in drafts this year. So I don't think he's going to be very cheap. Montgomery was a top-end RB1 last year, was a front-end RB1 before he got hurt this year. He's not going to be as cheap as Jacobs. Maybe Dillon, between Dillon and Jacobs. But with Dillon coming on lately, and like I said with Dillon, he's eating into that snap share and he's getting more touches. Jacobs might be the low man on this totem pole, but he's put up over 10 points per game in full PPR scoring every game he's played this year. So to me, Jacobs is the guy. Go get him. And, like, what do you have to lose picking him up as a back-end RB2? again, it's gonna be safe, consistent points. As long as he's healthy, they're gonna feed him. He should be back soon. All 5 of these guys the values aren't where they should be right now for various different reasons. The safest on this list is going to be Edmonds. That's why I listed him first. And then I'm probably going to say Montgomery, Jacobs, Gibson, and Dillon. But I think all 5 had that same floor, that RB2 floor. All right, Dynamo Nation, thanks for watching the video. I hope you all have a great week. If you can, please like, subscribe, comment. It'll really help the channel out, help me grow. I'm going to start doing some giveaways soon. Some Dynamo Nation shirts that I'm coming up with. So stay tuned for those. First like, comment, subscriber on any video, reach out to me. And I'll make sure to put you in the drawing for some of the merch. All right, have a good week. Thanks.